What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the fourth album by American rapper Ice-T. Basically, this project is called OG Original Gangster, and it came out in the spring of 1991. Then the fair about it here, this is typically seen as like a classic rap album pitch, just like that within those ordeals. It was a large deal, came out at like a climax, not necessarily a climax, but a hit peak of like, particularly in some prime era of West Coast hip hop pitches like that. This album actually came out before Dr. Dre's The Chronic pitches like that, was kind of within those fields. Now Ice-T put out his first album in 1987, pitches like that, but definitely between probably about 86, 87, NWA and Ice-T were kind of around the same time, pitches like that. Some of those type fairs, just the pitch of a good steady string of quality and top-notch West Coast albums, probably between about 1986, 87 to about 94, 95, even 96 with Tupac's death and some of those type fairs about it, and Snoop Dogg's last death Row album, The Dogfather, pitches like that. Some good type ordeals, definitely good prime era. This is one of those capital type ones, definitely where it was on the upswing. Yeah, I had not listened to this album. This is one I was going to get around to way back in the day, and I don't mean when I was doing Acid Roots. This is an album that I had on the fair for quite some time, but just never got around to it. I probably knew like the occasional song by Ice-T pitches like that, but never as full bound just within those fairs. I kind of was wary just because I thought it wasn't going to have good production. I thought it was going to be more turntable type stuff, pitches like that. This is actually, the considerable thing about it is not only did this come out before The Chronic in 1992 and Doggy Style in 93, some of those fairs, but it also came out before the final NWA album in terms like the normal fair that they did, which was in the same month as this album, which was Niggas for Life, as far as those fairs happen. So those particular albums, Niggas for Life and The Chronic, were both two big Dr. Dre produced albums that did the factoid of really initiating G-Funk, some of those type fairs. But this particular album has some excellent type production on here. It barely feels like it came out in 1991. It's just excellent type pitches, considering that Ice-T was on top of things as well, and he was kind of just like the album says, OG within those formats, kind of an originator within like the aspects of getting these styles cranked out with what was predominant in West Coast and just overall things like that for quite some time. Kind of the pitch of this is a pretty good foothold here. It's pretty brief with only 2 singles. Just me, I'm going to check and see the popularity of them as far as like seeing how well this album particularly did. Yeah, particularly these 2 singles off this album, only one of which, OG Original Gangster, hit number 7 on the rap charts, but this was kind of, it went gold, so it's good pitches like that, but it's just kind of ordeal as far as saying definitely very underappreciated within those fairs. But in terms of critical reception and the accolades that it got, the accolades and the praise it got within those particular fairs is definitely excellent within those pitches. Just kind of it's underappreciated within the aspect. Now the fair about this album in terms of what it has on here is definitely that. The fair about this album in terms of what it has within the pitches like that, in terms of like the viciousness, in terms of like capital kind of Cali West Coast hip hop pitches like that. It's kind of the ordeal. Definitely taking albums like NWA from Straight Outta Compton and Niggas for Life type days, pitches like that, with also traces of Cypress Hill from like their 1991 album, which came out a few months after this one. Definitely very much amidst the neighborhood fairs like that, just struts some of those type of products easily, kind of Cali Sunshine, some of those type of aspect, getting like there's just a good bountiful amount of snacks and goodies to kind of pick up within these fairs, just kind of amidst like the product. Just whether it is lowrider and hydraulics type surfing pitches like that, or just the aspect of just going for like a newspaper run, or some aspects just to pick up like a bag of Fritos or Doritos, some of those type pitches, combos, some of those type fairs and formats. Definitely within gas station runs, drugstore runs, some of those type pitches. It's kind of a product to just easily appreciate. I mean, capital time for this within these fairs, because this is the aspect that a lot of these type fairs were starting. This is easily Ice Cube, Eazy-E back in their prime pitches like that, Ice-T in his prime within some of those type fairs, just some of those type pitches. Other type folks, Snoop Dogg was kind of up and getting ready to be on the scene. Some of these type pitches within it. Dr. Dre was cranking out production hits left and right. Plenty of these type folks within the pitch. MC Hammer and Tupac were getting ready to make some noise, some of those type fairs. It's just the pitch as far as saying it's definitely a pretty notched and foothold type album within the pitch, because thinking about the mainstay kind of predominant type albums before this is kind of the pitch that for the most part, apart from Ice-T, he had dropped 3 albums before this, is kind of the fair. This was before Cypress Hill. This is before the second NWA album. Ice Cube only had like 1 or 2 projects out pitched. Like he may have only had one, which was just America's Most Wanted. Not sure if Death Certificate had came out just yet, but it's kind of the pitch as far as saying some of those type fairs. It's kind of relatively, that's the difference between this, like if getting past like the summer of 91, they're just for a lot more staples kind of within those products as far as what happened. But this is just good timing within the pitch. It's a very important type album here to get within those aspects. Yeah, this album gets a 10 out of 10. There's only really one song out of the 18 on here. Now, there's 24 songs on this album, but 6 at least are skits. So it's kind of fair that more or less, if they're not just spoken word or just like a quick intro or something like that, there are at least 18 songs. Now, some of these 18 songs on here are just less than a minute and a half or even 45 seconds or 50 seconds, something like that. So it's kind of the tone. Some of these type ones like Ed and like the house and some of these type ones and fried chicken within certain senses are definitely less than a minute and a half or 2 minutes, some of those type fares. But I do like these fares on here just for some in-between type passages. I'm still going to count them as the songs. There is rapping on there, but within the fare, I mean, more or less, if you're looking for just songs that have at least 3 minutes or 4 minutes or 5 minutes, there's not actually a super ton of these within 4 minutes. This is kind of very much like a movie package type product just within the fare. It kind of has like these sequences kind of about it, but in terms of ones that are just only kind of skit and spoken word type fare, that there's about 6 of those. There's really more or less like 18 songs. Out of those 18, there's really only one I don't recommend, which is just MVPs, which is kind of a blend of like spoken word and kind of like a song within those formats. So that's the only real one. But yeah, this album gets a 10 out of 10. Simple type fair pictures like that. So I'm just gonna tear into these. So OG Original Gangster is the lead single of this project. It's the only song that charted and it was only on the top 10 single in the rap charts. But it's like a vintage kind of 80s, 90s kind of Cali with like Cypress Hill like neighborhood jaunts pitches like that. So just the fair for folks who know less about Ice-T pitches like that, realizing the fact that he was like 33, 35. Ice-T was like 33, 35 when this album came out in 1991, so it's just kind of fair as far as saying he was kind of an OG type territory way back in 91 pitches like that, so it's kind of the ordeal as far as saying, but just very similar to like the Cypress Hill 91 album, not throwing shade on Ice-T, it's just the pitch that he was, he was definitely a product like the 80s when rap was coming up in like the first place. Some of those type products was just within ordeal. He'd been around pretty much more or less lengthier than NWA and some of those type folks. Just the original type ones within like more Cali and just 80s rap pitches like that. Apart from most folks, probably apart from like LL Cool J and Too Short, some of those type folks, and maybe Slick Rick, some of those type bears. But it's being able to say this is just OG Original Gangsters, just like a song like Hand on the Pump by Cypress Hill. Certain traces like How I Could Just Kill a Man, but not quite as crazy. But it's kind of within that Cali type format, just jaunts, some of those type fares, just easy gas station runs or just Aaron runs pitches like that. Just good type recreational type fare, just getting some sunshine. New Jack Hustler, Nino's Theme is the second single. There definitely probably should have been at least one other single out this probably was good type fare, just real quiet as kept. I like the fare about this particular album as far as doing it. New Jack, Hustler, Nino's Themes like amidst like the brisk day traffic. I gotta say here, this one's a little bit less on foot, but kind of the fare. There's a number of these that kind of the product just getting some things done within those products. It's kind of out, I would say, pitches like that. Grab like some Burger King. It's kind of a scorcher of a day. Some of those products that just amidst like the fare. Easily listen to songs like off of Niggas for Life by NWA and Cypress Hill from 91. 91 was pretty good year for Cali, like I was saying, pitches like that. So plenty of these type ones just to get out in the sunlight. Some of the type pitches just appreciate like the heat. Easy type products. There's some ones on here like that, like Straight Up Niggas, kind of like Nino's Theme. Like also Escape from the Killing Fields is like that as well. There's another one on here I'm trying to think of. Basically, Lifestyles of the Rich and Infamous, some of those type ones, pitches like that. Another nice one that goes along with that would be Flyby as far as those pitching on. But yeah, just talk about that. Just like I was saying, recommend every song on here minus MVP. So just like I said, that's just a spoken word kind of one that just has like some shout outs, just pitches like that, just kind of talking about folks high up within those pitches like that, not like problem within those pitches, but it probably would have been within four. It just kind of is more of a spoken word type song within the pitch. It's kind of fair. He's questioning the ofteness of going about listening to it as far as those fairs going to happen. But 10 out of 10 albums. There's plenty of these on here. Mind Over Matter is a real excellent type one. It's one of my more beeline type ones go for within these pitches. Like a nice Malays kind of Cali surfing kind of get. It's very much like Tequila Sunrise by Cypress Hill. Despite the fact that that came out 7-8 years later. Pitches like that. Some good type products. But yeah, it's like a basic glaze kind of sunshine here to kind of get within those fairs. So easy. I do like some of these 40 ounce type ones. Pitches like that. I don't know when I was talking about Original Gangster, some of those type fairs, when I said Cypress Hill like neighborhood jaunt, when I was talking about 40s, it's a good type pitch, just sip some 40 ounces, 2 Original Gangster, some of those type formats within it, so easy kind of just have like a tall bottle pitch like that, some of those type fairs, just neighborhood kind of hop and bop within those aspects, not just snack runs, but have like a 40 or 2, some of those type fairs. When you think of Eazy-E on his album cover from It's On Dr. Dre, just having a number of 40 ounces, just pitch like that, just appreciate getting swashed, some of those type ordeals with it. But yeah, Mind Over Matter is a nice swash one as well. There are some ones on here that kind of have that fair. I would definitely say in terms of like a more glazed type sense where it would be a little bit more golden eyes, I definitely would say Mind Over Matter and Pulse of the Rhyme kind of do that. The House is kind of like that as well, even though it's a quick one. It's a mellow kind of glazed sunshine as far as those pitch can have some excellent type ordeals. I also like the appeal of Ziploc. This probably should have been a lengthier type one within some of these type pitches. There's some certain songs on here like Ziploc and Fried Chicken in the House that are really snappy kind of songs that you kind of wish would have had like a second verse or like, further kind of length to the song pitch like that, at least more than a minute and a half or 2 minutes. There's plenty of songs on here with good help in the songs on here, but kind of it makes you want lengthier within the aspects of some of these type ones kind of the fair. This album is a classic within those ordeals, so it's this kind of pitch, but it's this kind of fair. It has more to do probably with the fact of what CDs could probably hold around that time within those pitches, but this kind of fair is excellent type packaging of it. So Ziploc's like a nice drooping kind of bass guitar-like thump to kind of get within the aspects of it. Just within the fair, some of those type ones very much feels like Outkast in 95, 96, just kind of strip club type glaze pitches like that. This real kind of bass, droopy kind of, it's very syrupy kind of stickiness pitches like that. This Red Eyes type fare, just enjoying like some smoke fare, I would say here. Grab like some quesadillas, pitches like that. Just an overall lit type song, kind of within the product of it. Another one like that is Ed. It's like a vintage kind of 90s Cali local stretch kind of get here. Just grab like some cornnuts and Cooler and Doritos, some of those products within it. Budweiser, 6-pack of Budweiser, some of those type fares. Just get some day tasks done. So just a good spree of these as far as these formats kind of have an excellent type ordeals. Bitches too. There are some story songs on here. Ice-T is good at these particular ones. He's kind of like too short within these pitches as far as getting towards some of that fair's kind of aspect behind it. Definitely a good gab to kind of have with pals as far as just the unwinding like standard dap pitches like that within the aspect, just having something to say within those aspects. So Bitches too is an example of that. It's like a woozy kind of local rounds that I'd say have a couple 40 ounces. Some of that fair's just homies dap and chillax. That I'd say a good song to spark up and have story time as far as those pitch can have to dismiss the ordeals. Some of those type ones that like NWA folks, Ice Cube, some of these type folks, and that's more particular folks kind of did that more back in like 90s type fair when you think of that particular product where they just would kind of be like, or Easy or something, would be like, yo Dre, come here real quick, something within those tones as far as like the tone of discs where they'd have spoken word type bits within the song before kicking it off, just similar to like how Easy kind of did on Easier Said Than Done songs I pitched. It's kind of fair as far as some of those type ones, but just kind of pitches some of that. There's a lot of traces on here where I think the formats a lot of this is just within good combination, thinking of some predominant West Coast albums between like 87 to 95 or 96 pitches like that. It's just some good type products. Just another Capital type one if you like Cypress Hill from 91, if you like NWA's Niggas for Life, if you like The Chronic, if you like Easy E's, Easy Does It, some of these type ones, just easy go, this easy kind of companion piece to that. There's actually not a ton of house party songs on here. And the more I think about it, that's one thing this album kind of not so much lacks because it doesn't have the quality of it, but it's the pitch as far as saying if you're looking for something of like a good house party type blitzer, something like Gin and Juice, or like Let Me Ride, some of those type pitches, some of those type products, like classic Cali anthems pitches like that within some of that type fair. Ghetto Bird by Ice Cube, some of these type pitches, kind of format that. It's really not one of those. I look within the tone, I would probably say within the format, most of this is kind of more outing type fair, just kind of amidst the wind of it, either smoking with your pals or just pitches like that. I would say maybe Bitches too, kind of in a lazy type sense, but really the house is like the closest thing in terms of like a get together, in terms of like Friday type fair, and that's a really short song, really less than a minute. The house like a dope kind of mid-pace kind of house shebang, I'd say here, just hood rat or a good BZ kind of noise pitch like that, some of those fares. So the product, definitely say this album probably needed some blisters for that particular product, but other than that, it's pretty much, I mean, this is a classic album. It's just a pitch for saying in terms of something that could have been like Gin and Juice or Who Am I, some of those type pitches within format. California Love, some of those fares. That's about the only thing. Yeah, this is kind of an early bird kind of G-funk banger as far as those pitch can happen. Like I said, this is before a lot of those particular type albums within a pitch, but it's just good aspect. This is pretty excellently produced type album. Barely feels like it came out of 91. Body Count is a quality one. This is an early bird type song for Ice-T's band Body Count, who I've reviewed in the past. I think I reviewed at least 2 of their albums pitches like that. I'm going to get some more of those, but this is some excellent type fare. Songs like a throwback kind of 90s rock rap, kind of Rage Against the Machine type vibes pitches like that. It's good for like petition days, some of the stuff like they would do when trying to legalize marijuana and things like that. Petitions and day push it, I'd say here, just get some tasks done within the fair. Like good 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock p.m. kind of sunshine. It's kind of your 90s Politico type song like Cali in the 90s kind of did pitches like that. Good song to toke to. It's definitely a good song to toke to as well as far as those pitches kind of happen. Another one, like I was saying, that's similar to Mind Over Matter. It's a nice one. Is Pulse of the Rhine. It's another one of my more favorite ones. I would say is like a Red Eyes kind of local evening malaise kind of get here, just feeling good, kind of sunshine and Fritos pitches like that. I'd say just good song to have some chats and fairs like that. Good song to have some chats, fairs like that. Just kind of have the gab of this neighborhood type dap pitches like that with your pals as far as those pitches kind of happen. get a laugh out of the news, or just like the goings on within like the day activity. Not to laugh if it's like bad things on the news, but just the pitch as far as just sniggering pitches like this. Some of those type pairs just like appreciating some of those type, appreciate like the goings on. Some more of these type ones, kind of similar to like New Jack Hustler. Nino's theme would be lifestyles of the rich and infamous, like a basic kind of day sunshine kind of get here, just good for like utility runs. And some of these type ones, there's some ones that are kind of more recreational, just with a pitch of describing like food, but there's also some ones if you need to get like a broom or a mop, some of those type pairs are just standard products, that just extra type fair Dawn dish soap, some of those type products within it. It's kind of productive, kind of makeshift as far as those pairs can happen with it. My contract is a nice one. This is just vintage kind of Cali sunshine. It's like a good hop and bop and kind of snack run strut to kind of have within these aspects here. Just Taco Bell and Wendy's, some of those type fairs I'd say. Grab like a newspaper and go. Good song to grab like a newspaper pitch just like that. It's kind of a drugstore run as far as this fair's gonna have this easy kind of day test within the fair behind it. More similar to vibes like OG, original Gangster as far as this fair's gonna have, just good type pitch. They have some extra type formats, just kind of smoke in the wind, have like a Dr. Pepper, so on type formats within it. I don't think I talked about Midnight yet. It's another nice one. Midnight's like a brooding and murky kind of 90s demon time surfing to kind of get within the aspects of just kind of more. There are some ones, most of this is kind of more amidst like the day sunshine, probably between like, 11 o'clock in the morning, probably 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock p.m. Some of these type ones, like, there's a few like Mind Over Matter and Pulse of the Rhyme, they're kind of more evening fair, but within the pitch, there are a couple ones for like night type product as well within these pitches as far as like the after hours. So, the Midnight's like kind of demon time surfing amidst like city lights and activity. I'd say here just a good nice one to toke as far as those pairs go. So just kind of Cali format as far as those pairs gonna go. Kind of more or less like mission type music within the product, or just getting some stuff done like in the makeshift. Now to say in terms of gangster rap, it'd kind of be more rugged within the pitch, but it's kind of formatted just probably within the aspect of having like night makeshift as far as those pairs can happen, whether it is blue collar, some of those type formats, just getting some stuff done as far as those pitches can happen, just kind of within the product of it. It just works for like the fair as far as those pitches can happen with like night shifts. So Midnight's just more or less like a productive kind of night song pitches like that. And then the Tower is a nice one as well. Now this kind of goes in combination with Midnight, but it's just kind of it's a little bit more shrill about it. It's kind of like mild horrorcore. Not sure it's full, but I want to say that at least Ice-T on one of Ice-T might have done a little bit of horrorcore pitches like that, but it's a good example of it here. It's like a good combo with Midnight, I'd say, just a little bit more haunting and shrill, I'd say, within the products of it. Kind of a scraggly type night shift song pitches like that. It's kind of a scraggly type song pitches like that. Just real, kind of more autumn bound, some of those type fairs. Most of this is kind of summer and spring, but I look after the fair. This is one that's kind of just out of like the ordinary as far as this album fair. It's kind of a night shift task, some of those type of things. It's a good song to drink to within those products. Just having to get some things done, but just having a few drinks in your system, just within the fair, just having some drinks in your system within the legality of it, pitches like that. So some good type ordeals. Trying to think some other ones on here. Now I think I've basically covered just about every one of these as far as these fairs going to happen. I don't think I've talked about Straight Up Nigga yet either as far as this pitch can happen. Straight Up Nigga is like an out and around kind of neighborhood hop to kind of get here, just grab like burritos and cornnuts, some type formats within it. It's kind of an errand run and day task as far as those fairs can happen. So dismiss the pitch as far as saying like a good several of these just pitches like that. Some of those particular type fairs just appreciating like the weekday commerce, some of those type fairs just more or less got done with things, but just kind of missed the product of just it's within the product like the day fair, just got done with things within the product, but just having some activeness as far as those fairs can happen, just in between type moments, get crunk a little bit. Some of those type fairs just have good hot weather kind of jaunts pitches like that, I'd say. Good nice one and topic on here would be fried chicken as far as these fairs can happen just within the pitch. Good song title, some of those type fairs, I'd say it's like a good homebound kind of spark up and quick kind of KFC and Popeyes kind of pitches like that. Good song to grub hard to it, I'd say, despite how quick this song is. It's just a nice reprieve to kind of have TVs on, just some cooling as far as those fairs can happen, just in a more 90s type sense. This is just one kind of like the house, but just more kind of cool off as far as those fairs can happen, just kind of one to lounge as far as this pitch can happen, just have like a quick snack. Now obviously within the fair of this, listening to this song is pretty much over before you even get started with eating as far as those fairs can happen. But it's just the pitch as far as having some of these lounge type ones for like the format. The more I think about it, there's actually not a super ton of more housebound type songs within the pitch behind it. It's kind of the fair. Most of this is kind of out in the fray, but it's just kind of the product as far as having a couple of these like fried chicken in the house, some of those type ones and bitches too. So there are a couple of these for kind of more rec room and smoke type fair pitches like that. Drumsticks, some of those type fairs within it. Trying to think of other songs I haven't talked about here. I think that basically about covers it. I think there might be one or two more I haven't talked about, one of which is Flyby. Flyby is like a nice, quick, and uppity kind of movement, I'd say here. This goes along pretty well with New Jack Hustler, I'd say. Just get several tasks done as far as these fairs are going to go. So Flyby has similarities to Escape from the Killing Fields. Both these are real tight fair within both these are more quick type fair within a brisk type sense. So just get several tasks done, some of those type pitches within it. Just Walmart, Target, some of these type places, the format of getting some of these type bills paid. Walmart, Target, electric bills, some of these type formats within the pitch behind it. Cell phone nowadays within these pitches as far as these fairs are going to happen. Just clean, sweet, kind of productive as far as those pitches can happen. So good type fair to be. Good type fair to be steady as far as those pitches can happen. And then escape from the killing fields is nice as well. It's good type fair to be efficient as far as those pitches can happen. And then escape from the killing fields is nice as well. It's like a good get around and debris can have within the products of it. Just pick up like Hardy's, some of those type pitches. It's further type product just out and around. Kind of some makeshift surfing as far as these pitches can happen. So just Cali weather, just with the aspect of more workaday, blue collar type sense pitches like that. Just some everyday type fair, just some more brisker type sense as far as those pitches can go. Definitely some spring and summer type sunshine. It's probably getting some stuff done, having some snacks nearby, maybe within the product of afterward, kind of grabbing like some smoke products or some fairs like that. So just good type pitches. Yeah, so that basically takes care of the fair as far as those pitches can happen with it. I think that's the particular product. So I think I talked about all these songs. So yeah, this album gets a 10 out of 10. The social score I'll go ahead and give. I mean, within the pitch behind it, the quality of this album, the critical reception, all that type fair, it has a good particular commonplace just in the regard and the revere it has. So I'd probably say it's like a 10 social just because the aspect, like the popularity and the dominion that it had within the pitch. And I would say just only because of that, but it is a classic album, definitely worthwhile. Definitely lives up to the hype and all these type products. Just an easily esteemed type product that has a lot of revere and is excellent for it. It's a good pitch for that. But also just from the product, in terms like the fair, as far as folks digging this particular album up within the pitch, considering that Ice-T wasn't really that chart centric. I mean, he was a big deal in terms of like Cali back in those days, but considering that that's 35 years ago, pitches like that's kind of an ordeal as far as refreshing him in people's minds. I feel like that's the only thing about this album in terms of like giving it the 10 socials, just as far as saying like a song that like is kind of speaks volume, like Tupac's kind of California Love or something like that, one of those type ones, or Dr. Dre's Let Me Ride, or Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice, those type ones. It's kind of fair. It just doesn't have like the mammoth kind of ubiquitous single, but it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying it's just the format that it is classic within the appeals. I mean, it doesn't have much of a learning curve as far as this fair. If you fuck with 90s California and late 80s California, it's basically just a ticket for that, this excellent type ordeal, but it just doesn't have like a number 1 or number 5. I mean, the singles are pretty good, but they're just not predominant in terms of like radio fair. So I would say I'm gonna give the album a social score of 10, but it's just gonna pitch as far as saying it just doesn't have the hits to kind of wean you on as far as this pitch can happen. It just doesn't have the hits to wean you on as far as this pitch can happen. So I just look within the aspects of this, the tone as far as saying this is something to know, just kind of a disclaimer as far as this pitch can happen. But in terms of the future, like obviously Ice-T is kind of in his 70s now within those pitches. Now he has at least dropped some body count albums. That's the nowadays type stuff, pitches like that. But it's just kind of ordeal as far as saying within the Capitol type appeal. I'm going to get to some more of these Ice-T type projects, pitches like that, get to a few more body count type ones, some of these type fairs within it, just some of those type phrase. But yeah, classic 90s West Coast pitches like that, kind of a staple in album that was revolutionary, pitches like that, did a lot of damage, made a lot of splash effects, some of those type of ordeals. Definitely wanted to dig up some of those type fairs, despite the fact that the casual kind of appeal may not be as recognizable because it's just so old school pitch like that, but it's just kind of, for not to say old school like it isn't relevant, but it's just kind of pitch as far as like the recognition of it. But yeah, it's just definite type of ordeal. Definitely OG type territory, easily lives up to the album name, pitch like that, just an overall classic out of the 90s in Primera, California.